What's good, homies? Welcome back to another episode in our Rugby League Life 4 Rabbitohs Rebuild series. So we're going to start things off a little differently today. It's round 12, and that means that the transfer windows have opened. I mentioned in an earlier video that I did go kinda ham with the recruitment. In total, we re-signed one player, Alex Johnson, for 2 more years. We let go of 6 players, and we actually signed 6 players, one of which was an auto transfer, and that's Dane Gagai for 4 years. We let go of a couple of low-rated players that were asking for ridiculous prices, and we let go of a high-profile player in Bryson Goodwin. I'm pretty sure there'll be a few more players departing the club automatically, Aaron Gray being one of them. Both Goodwin and Gray have been tanks for us this season, and I'm kind of looking forward to the new combination on their left side. Obviously, I'm still undecided on who those players will be, but yeah, anyway, we'll get through our buys right here. We've got Dane Gagai for 4 years, arguably our best signing coming to the club. After Gagai, I decided to sign a bunch of, I wouldn't say fringe players, just players that may or may not make the 17 next season. So we got George Telfor for 2 years, Tony Williams for 2 years. We picked up Tyrone Roberts. Pretty stoked with that signing, super underrated in my opinion. That wraps up the multiple season deals. We also signed a few players to 1-year contracts, one of them being the Coltrane, Big Dave Taylor. Stoked with that signing. We got talent from abroad, a pretty weird signing, but I pretty much got him for depth. I'm talking about, of course, the English international Ryan Hall. We got him for the wing. And lastly, we have Frank Winterstein for 1 year, and that pretty much wraps up the recruits. If you ask me, it's a pretty decent group of players. No major signings, just that Dane Gagai auto signing. Other than that, we already have a couple of superstars in our team already, one being Greg Inglis and the other being Sam Burgess. So yeah, we've got plenty of depth for next season. I'll most likely end up playing just one more season with these new recruits, and then I'll move on to another club. Alright, so our opponent for today in round 12 are the Parramatta Eels, and as you can see here, they're currently doing it rough at the moment, winning only 1 from their past 5 games. They're currently sitting at 10th right now, and in their last game they lost to the Raiders 20 points to 16. Also, after our loss last week, we dropped from 4th place to 5th, and we now have a season record of 7 wins and 4 losses. Alright, so we're going to start things off here in attack. We're only a minute and a half into the game here, and it's going to be Robbie Farah in at dummy half. On our 30, we send it wide to Sam Burgess, fends off one defender, fends off their fullback, and he gets the pass away to Cody Walker. Walker finally gets rounded up just outside their 40. We still got a couple of sets to work with here as we shift it to Goodwin. Goodwin links up with George Burgess, and a cheeky little fend there. Makes a few more meters, a few more post-contact meters before getting grounded. Just outside the 20 now. Pretty solid set so far from our forwards in particular. Just running all over the Eels at the moment. This time it's Sam Burgess with the fend, and he's going to make it to the line for our first try of the game on the back of a pretty monstrous set by our forward pack. Looking back at the replay here, it was just a simple little inside ball to Sam Burgess, one-on-one with Casey Pritchard, an easy fend and a little jog to the line. Devin French at the back was standing a little too deep. Pretty much just enough room for Sam Burgess to angle away from him and score under the post or right next to the post. As we convert the points here, going up by 6 points just 5 minutes into the game. Alright, back in attack here, 7 minutes in, pretty much the next set. The third tackle here, and we're going to drop Reynolds back. Looking for an early kick on the third, looking for that 40-20. And as we take the strike here, as you can see, we misjudged that by a mile. I don't know why the ball went out by that much. That should have been a perfect kick, man. We had the wind blowing in the opposite direction, but it looked like the wind had no effect. As they get it off the back of the scrum, Bevan French with the twinkle toes. He gets rounded up 15 meters out from the line. This time it's just Kenny Edwards here, making a little bit of post-contact meters inside the 10. As they shift it quickly to Mitchell Moses, and Mitchell Moses is going to backpack Angus Crichton over the line. Some straight up BS right there. As we take another look, they're going to review the grounding, and as you can see here, Angus Crichton holding on, and Mitchell Moses barely makes it over the chalk. So they eventually get the green lights here. Parramatta able to capitalize off that terrible kick by Adam Reynolds. I still think that was BS. But there's nothing you can do about it. We're just going to move on here as Mitchell Moses sets up to take the shot at goal. And he's going to convert the 4 into 6 and ties the game up. Alright, so we're approaching the 20-minute mark here. A little clearance kick. And it's going to be Michael Jennings whacks one defender, turns Inglis inside out, Inglis giving chase, and we're able to round him up here just outside our 20. Second tackle, still with Parra here, as they continue to attack our line, and a soft try led in there by Greg Inglis it was, who was up in defense. It was actually great footwork by Michael Jennings to beat Greg Inglis, creating that gap. You'll get a better look of it right here on the replay. As you can see, untouched, beautiful footwork by Michael Jennings. The initial person that started the set off strong, got them on the front foot, and he's going to end it with a little try assist to his name. Back of Mitchell Moses here, another easy kick, and as you'd expect, he's going to extend the lead to 6 points. 30 minutes in, with Kyle Turner here on the field. Nice little run here as he fends his way past one defender. Fourth tackle, out to Cody Walker, cut up ball to Crichton, and the soft hands by Crichton to quickly shift it out to Goodwin, just bursting through the gap, and we're going to sneak into the corner for our second try of the game. Alright, so we're taking another look at the play, unfolding right here. Cody Walker shapes up, throws that cut up ball to Crichton, and the quick hands by Crichton to Goodwin beats Takairangi on the outside, and Bevan French is just a little too late as we scored just inside the corner post. A tough kick for Reynolds coming up, who's been pretty inconsistent during the season, as we take the strike, and it's a beautiful shot at goal there. We tie the game up heading into the break, locked at 12 points apiece. Looking at the match stats, there's not much in it, as you'd expect from a tie game, so both teams completing all their sets, and neither team making any errors or conceding any penalties. So after a pretty uneventful second half so far, we enter the final stages here of the game, the last 10 minutes, as Semi Radradra makes a little break down the left side, and he's finally stopped 35 meters out. Corey Norman goes at the back to Kesa Pritchard, and Pritchard takes the tackle. We've got Norman at hooker, fires a long ball out to Mitchell Moses, who takes the shot. He nails the one-pointer, and just look at the strength here in the celebration. It was a pretty disappointing end to the game. I was not expecting the field goal. Otherwise I would have charged them down, I reckon, but yeah, they snuck one through, and we're going to collect our second L in a row. I would show more of the second half, but man, that crap just wasn't pretty to watch. Anyway, it'll be Sam Burgess picking up man of the match. We'll take a look at everyone's individual stats. Just go ahead and pause it if you need to, but before we go, we're going to take a quick look at my 25-man squad for the Origin. So like I was saying in an earlier video, most of, if not all of the seasoned players have not been chosen. It's a fairly young squad. This will obviously be cut down to 17, and I'm pretty sure it'll be the next video will be Origin Game 1. But yeah, this will be the squad that I'll be rolling with throughout the Origin campaign. I'll go a little more in depth with it when I reveal the 17-man squad for Game 1. But for now, drop that like button for more Rugby League Live 4 content. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you
Brandy carry one size, eat a complex on them.
Later.
Just another day, it goes on. If it rain, if it pours, you still good with me, girl. I suppose you be drinking every day in the dorm with your girls. It ain't good for your grades, but you already know it's a damn good thing.